G'day guys and girls, it's Tempsits here. Now let me first say, Foresight, I'm sorry. What's going on boys and girls? It is your boy Temporary Citizen. Welcome to the new Tempsits battle station. Today I will be giving an update on the Foresight Mark 1. Now let me just start this video off by saying that when I posted my last video at the start of October, the Foresight Mark 1 was yet to be shipped. Today's the 23rd of October and some people have started receiving their Foresight Mark 1 helmets, and let me just say, that's good. I'm very happy. As someone within the riding community in Australia, I'm very happy that a local company was able to produce the helmet that they set out to make and ship them out to customers. These are good things. In my last video that I made about the smart helmets, I copped a little bit of flack from the Devote Foresight community today. I believe it was posted in the founders group, and so everyone's jumped on and written an essay about why they're right and I'm wrong. And let me just say that when I made the video, the helmets weren't out, and now they're out. So that's sort of the big thing that people have tried to call me out on. And when I made the video, they weren't out. So that was probably one of my biggest criticisms of the helmet, was that they weren't actually out in the market yet. And now some of them are making their ways to consumers, which is good. You know, it's what we want to see. It's not another Scully situation, which I'm glad about. I was a little scared that it might be, but I'm happy that it's not. There were a couple of little points that I wanted to make and did make about the helmet, and it speaks more to the concept of integrated technology. And I still wanted to stand by one of those points, that being that if you have an integrated camera in a helmet, you can only use that in that scenario when you're wearing a helmet. Now for a lot of people, maybe that's all they want to do. Maybe all they want to do is use their helmet to have like a built-in dash cam, and that's cool. I like to make videos and I do a lot of things that aren't motorcycle riding, so that particular situation, and that's sort of the point I was trying to make that people weren't getting, is that for me the ability to be able to put the camera on the helmet and then take it off and use it for something else is good. Can't always wear this helmet whenever I want to film something, so having the ability and the versatility is good. Other people don't want that and they just want the camera on their helmet, and that's fine. It's the same as having a dash cam in your car, but on a helmet. And that's cool. I'm not sure, I think it's something about human nature in general, that when we make a large purchase, and I think this speaks to more people that can't, probably, I wouldn't know, but it probably doesn't happen at the top end of town. And that's when you make a purchase and you've spent a lot of time focusing on whether or not this purchase is worth it. And then so once you've made that choice, you've then got to go online and defend it because you want to feel like you didn't make the wrong choice. You see it happen a lot with consoles. You know, yeah, that's part of the reason why the Xbox PlayStation is so harsh against each other. It's because a lot of people, they only have the funds to buy one or the other, and so they've got to go online and they've got to make sure and sort of back themselves up that they made the right decision. People do it with cards, Holdens versus Fords. I'm sure if you had the money to buy a whole heap of nice ones, you probably wouldn't be as you wouldn't ingrain that into your own identity as much as someone that's made a big purchase and then has to stick by it. And that's cool, that's human nature, but I do think that's what's happening here, is that people have outlaid a fair bit of money, and so they want to make sure that they've made the best decision, and so they're very passionate about defending their decision. And that's cool. I personally am really happy with, well actually I'm not even that happy. Right here, this helmet is a Biltwell lane splitter. As you can see on the back there, it's ECE and DOT certified. This GoPro mount on the front is not. However, that is the risk that I'm willing to make. I'm under the personal belief that if I was to have a crash and smash into something face forward, this would break off before it would hold on and impact into my skull. But I don't know, I don't really crash that often. I hope I don't really have to find out, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, the Foresight system is a lot more sleek and slimline than this. But the camera's not as good as a newer, much more expensive, non-integrated helmet. And that's not really a negative point of view on the helmet. That is more just a realistic appraisal of the situation. I mean, it's a very expensive high-end camera that's on the front and can be replaced and upgraded and replaced and upgraded over time. That's quite a big outlay, but I'm looking at this from a video production point of view, where that is an expense that I'm willing to make. Whereas the Foresight, the camera's not as nice at the moment. They are planning on upgrading it over time, and that's sick. You know, that's awesome. That's what all the camera companies do. I mean, you look at the video quality of this compared to a Hero 4, which is what I had, and it's a lot better. But it is bigger, so it's not as compact and it sticks out a lot. So things get better and worse over time. I mean, the Sena system is not perfect. I was trying to hook it up with a Sena headset yesterday and couldn't get it to work. So it's a pain when shit doesn't work. But that does happen sometimes. I am very interested in checking out the Foresight notification bar on this chin mount here. Very interested to see what that's like in person, and also see, you know, have some of my own test footage on a Foresight and see how it compares. You know, if it is comparable, that's absolutely an option to go for. I mean, just because I film in 4K now, but that doesn't mean that I'm putting the videos up. I don't even have 4K screens, so yeah, it's all swings and roundabouts. And you know, once you meet a price point, which Foresight has done, they've done everything they can up to that point, but you know, the spectrum for spending money on cameras is infinite. I mean, this right here is a lot smaller than having a Phantom, you know, or a Red camera, one of these giant production quality cameras on the front, but they would absolutely have better quality than this. This is a lot bigger than the Foresight camera, but it has better quality, you know. So it's all how much of that compromise that people want to make. And for me, the acceptable amount of compromise is the amount of space that this GoPro takes up at the front for the video quality that I get out of it. But some people are more worried about the aerodynamics, and so something like the Foresight system works really well. Yeah, I mean, like, I can do voice commands and everything else with the Sena, but having all of that built into a helmet is a handy thing. It just means that if I was to go upgrade my helmet and buy a different lid, I can pull these parts off and put them on the new helmet, but I couldn't do that on the Foresight. So that's the big throwaway. Now, the other point that I wanted to make, in my last video, I posed the question, are smart helmets a scam? And I went through and talked about different smart helmets, and I think my biggest gripe that may not have come across in the video was the misinformation being provided by a whole heap of different companies about what constitute as a smart helmet and what doesn't, and that advertising. And I sort of made the point that if you think of a smart helmet as a big heads-up display, then a lot of the helmets don't meet the mark. But as far as the industry standard for smart helmet, the bar is actually pretty low. I think if you've got Bluetooth connectivity, from an industry standpoint, it counts as a smart helmet. Now, as the Foresight has released to customers, it's not a scam. You know, it is a real product that has been released to customers. And I was just making the point that in the past, similar helmets have not delivered on that promise to bring the helmets to the consumers. But Foresight's done that, and that's awesome. So from the bottom of my heart to all the Foresight fans, I apologize, and I appreciate your passion and constructive criticism on my last video. And hopefully you hang around and see where the channel goes from here. I'm absolutely looking forward to when these border restrictions drop, riding over to Sydney and checking out the Foresight headquarters and checking out some of the helmets in the flesh. If that's something that you want to see, if you want to see me, you know, eat my own words of what I've said in the past, then let the guys know. Let them know you want to see me review the helmet, which I'd love to do. But yeah, that's basically it. We got the Temp Sits Mark 1 right here. You can see the Pit Viper-esque stickers. They're very cool. You got the OG Temp Sit sticker. You got a Cena headset. You got a GoPro. Very, very janky, but it does the job. I've been Temp Sits, and you've been gorgeous. Peace.